What are the probate options for a surviving spouse? Hi, everyone. My name is Cindy Nguyen, and I'm an attorney at Amity Law Group. And we're here today to answer the question of what are the options for a surviving spouse? So, a surviving spouse will be able to claim assets without having to go through a full probate process. Now, any assets inherited by a surviving spouse or a registered domestic partner can be legally transferred with a spousal property petition. So, what is a spousal property petition? A spousal property petition is a much quicker and less expensive option to receive assets from a deceased spouse as opposed to a full-on probate. So, full-on probate is going to take, again, about a year or more. Could take a year or more. And it could be very expensive, much more expensive than a spousal property petition. The spousal property petition, allows for surviving spouse to claim community property, quasi-community property, or even separate property of the deceased spouse. There are no limitations to the amount of the property that can be claimed through this process. But there are certain scenarios where this process may not be optimal, and Jennifer is going to take us through that.
Yes. So certain situations, we may actually want to choose a full-on probate versus the spousal property petition. So for example, if there are certain concerns regarding the deceased spouse's debts or liabilities, then we may want to go through a full-on probate because you, as a spouse, surviving spouse, you don't necessarily want to inherit those liabilities. For example, if the deceased spouse owned a business, where the surviving spouse really wasn't involved and is not really sure about, what transactions occurred during the running of that business. So there might be some certain, outstanding liabilities where there's creditors and, concerns about debt. Then the surviving spouse may choose to do a full probate in order to kind of itemize out those debts, pay out those debts early on through the probate process without having it be inherited by the surviving spouse. Additionally, if there are other family members where you may anticipate perhaps certain people objecting to the inheritance or certain relatives asserting certain claims against the estate, then we may also want to do a full-on probate in order to provide finality to those issues. So, we would love to talk to you about the situation, if this is a good option for you or not. Again, like Cindy said, the spousal property petition is, faster. It saves some time and money for your family. But at the same time, we want to make sure that this would be a suitable option for you. So we would be happy to discuss this with you. And as always, feel free to contact us and we'd be happy to help. Thank you for watching.